this is a common sense job. I have confidence that everybody sitting up here has the ability to do this job. I would be comfortable with any of them in my place. So my statement would be, if you know any of these people, then vote for them. If you don't, and I haven't ticked you off with what I've done for the last 4 years, vote for me. My slogan is, if you don't agree with me, vote for one of them.
My name is Happy McLeod, and I come to ask for your vote both as a newcomer and an old-timer because I grew up in Tryon and had the good fortune of moving back here in 2005. I'm running because I love this place that we live. I think my life, my education, and my work experiences equip me to work well for you on council. I have a master's in public administration, so I'm used to the way government works. I developed community services for people with disabilities and special needs for 12 years, so I'm used to networking and bringing people together to accomplish a goal. And I've served on the Tryon Downtown Development Association, just been elected the president, which I'm tickled to death to lead that. I'm a past president of the Gillette Woods Association, and I worship at Holy Cross Church, and I would ask for your vote, and I would look forward to representing you.
Wim Woody. I'm a native of Tryon, born in the old St. Luke's Hospital, and I mention that because I'm proud of being a native and thankful that my folks had the good fortune to live in this town when I came along some years ago. I went through 8 years of school here, Tryon City Schools, then went away to prep school, came back to North Carolina and graduated from the university over in Chapel Hill in 1970. Went up to New York City thereabouts, spent about 20 years in book manufacturing, book manufacturing sales to publishers, and then returned here about 25 years ago. For about 13 of those years, I ran and managed the Foxtrot Inn over here on Foxtrot Lane in Tryon as a B&B. I have two grown children and 6 grandchildren. And I got involved with local politics when the annexation, when the annexation debate came about some years ago. And I felt it was rather unfair for our local leaders at that point to try to apply the same principles that apply to bigger cities. I think it might apply in bigger cities, but not in smaller cities. So anyhow, I got involved, and I felt that I needed to stand up, and that led to a run 6 years ago for the town council, which I missed by 4 votes. So 2 years later, 4 years ago, I was elected, and I think I've received the largest number of votes at that point. So as a councilman, I've tried to promote citizen involvement. I think we do have an increased awareness of what's going on in town, and citizens are coming out to the meetings and whatnot. I've been a vocal opponent of tax increases.
Time's up.
Okay, I've tried to keep the taxes low. Thank you.
Okay.
Hi, everyone knows me as Billy Moss. I worked with the town for 29 years, retired in February after the 29 years of service, 10 years in the garbage truck, 12 years with the water and sewer, and 7 years down at the sewer plant. And I running because for years I said, my goodness, I believe I could do this job as good as they're doing. So I decided with my wife and some friends it's time to put my mouth where my actions is and do it. And I appreciate you coming out, and I look forward to serving and to continue serving the town. And thank you.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Thank you all for being here. I just want to make a few points about my run for commissioner. The first one is that I'm accessible. I can be found either at the coffee house or at my office at Thousand Pines. I think that common sense is my strong suit. I will run the job with as much common sense as I have available to me. Thank you. Yeah. I also would like to say that I don't care where you live in town. I'm going to treat you all the same. I will work for everyone exactly the same. I plan on attending as many civic meetings, county council meetings. I think that we need to reach out further than Tryon to make our town more successful. Thank you all for your time.
Hi, I'm Bill Kroll. Thank y'all all for coming out tonight. The reason I'm running is this town has lacked basic business sense for the last 4 to 6 years. I disagree with these gentlemen on the annexation. I disagreed with the type of annexation our past council was trying to do, but the town needed a chance to grow for future revenue for our water and sewer. We're now crippled. There's the size of Tryon now, costs keep going up, and we're going to have to absorb it as citizens of Tryon. Another reason is you take Dr. Hooker's office over there. This council tried to sell him that piece of half acre for $8,000. The county values it at $80,000. I pushed it up to 20, but I ran out of money at that point. So Dr. Hooker paid $21,000 for an $80,000 piece of lot. There's going to be water and sewer issues coming up over the next 10 years. This town's going to have to find answers for, and it's not going to be easy. I'd like your support, and thank you for coming out tonight.
I think the number one priority for Tryon is their water system. We have high water rates, and they're going to get higher if we don't do something soon.
I agree with Bill over here that it is the water and sewer, more the sewer future of the Tryon than anything else.
My number one priority is to vitalize downtown. That will create revenues for the upcoming cost for the water and sewer, for other things that the town is going to need. But also, when we've got wonderful new businesses coming in. We're on the move. We're on the right track now. But the core of the town serves everybody. It's not just for one group, and that's why my campaign slogan has been vitalizing downtown Tryon.
The infrastructure is a major concern, as well as finishing out the downtown, because I think we got a pretty good start on it.
The infrastructure is, like they said, like Doug said, not only the water and the sewer system, but also our streets and the creek crossings that we have. As I said, I have worked in different areas of the town, and I know that several creek crossings that I personally have had to patch, and they still been 8 years ago since we've done that.
I would say living within our means, all these things are worthwhile, and that's what we have to look at, but we have to do it within the resources available to us.
All four of us knew each other over the last 4 years, but none of us are really pals, but we managed to work out any differences, and I think Alan only voted 3 times the entire 4 years, so obviously we were able to work things out. It's common sense. And as long as people can come together and agree on some things, we really don't have an issue.
So as far as you're concerned, everything's cool.
I've been at the coffee house down there for 15 years, on that street for 15 years. Every day almost for 15 years. I hear a lot of comments. I can look out there and see people that make comments all the time. I can take that information that I receive every day and take it into town, and all these folks are friends of mine, including the 2 mayoral candidates. I think I can work well with any of them, and I just offer my knowledge from what I pick up on the street.
After working for almost 6 months with the town and with Tryon Downtown Development Association and with Travel and Tourism, we have been able to come together, and we're going to next year offer a downtown museum and visitor center for everybody in town. And what this means a lot to me, because I think we've got to tell our story, who we are. But also, I was really pleased to be in a position to bring this group together. I think I've demonstrated leadership and been able to work together, and I would carry that forward on council.
I think we've prioritized fairly well, and we all know that the water and sewer is a big need, but it's also a huge expense. So even though the sewer line down Howard Street and the problems with Ms. Whitmire's, it has taken an awful long time, but funds were available, funds were gotten available, and working with the state and the agencies. And I think we've made progress on Main Street. We've done some new sidewalks. Things are progressing. Things do take time, but I think with what we have here, with the people that are involved and how much spirit, so to speak, for downtown, we can get these things done. They're not impossible, but they just take hard work.
On the water and sewer, I personally believe and would love to research more Spartanburg Water Department. They're right across the state line from us now. They've bought Landrum. It seems the people I've talked to in Landrum are happy with their service, the price of their water. That'd be one way for us to bring the water rates equal to everybody on the Tryon system. Our sewer system is strictly Tryon right now. Columbus had the opportunity for the past 10 years to not build a brand new $5 million sewer plant, but send their dirty water our way. We could have processed it. We could have started a water and sewer authority. They chose not to. We really have nowhere to go. We have all the water we need. We just have a small population that takes to process it and run these plants. That's why it's so high. So looking into selling our system to Spartanburg, but I would not even think of selling it to a for-profit water company.
We need to join into a water authority and get mixed in with whoever it would be, whether it be the county, other towns, or possibly like what he was saying with Spartanburg or someone that we could work with. Also, we need to finish fixing and repairing our sewer lines, the leaks that's in them. I know from the 7 years I worked down there, every time we got a 1 inch rain, our I&I, which is influent infiltration, would go up 100,000 gallons per inch. So there's a lot of rainwater getting in, and we're having to process rainwater instead of sewer. And we need to go ahead and, like the mayor said, fix these problems as we run across them and go out and start hunting them a little more vigorously than what we've been doing.
I'm not sure about the dollars we're talking about. We've got a sewer system that can handle a lot more sewer, but we don't have many more customers coming in. Columbus has already made it clear that they're not going to join up with us with their system that they're doing for themselves. I think we just have to prioritize and work on our system with the best we can within our means. I have to agree with Wim that we can't spend money that we don't have. We have to make priorities and take them one at a time and try to fix them. We're a town that's really, the services have outgrown the town. We used to take care of the mills, and they're not here any longer. And we're not going to get 100 new customers in the next 5 years.
Okay.
So we have to work within what we have and try to fix it.
There was a meeting for the towns of Tryon and Saluda and Columbus on October the 1st on water and sewer issues. And the county has since joined in to hire an engineering consultant to come in and look at our situation and to advise us on what's the best course for us to take. So I think we should definitely wait to hear what a professional has to say. And also I want to toot Joey Davis's horn. As you know, our town manager is getting his doctorate, and he's writing his thesis on water systems. So how lucky are we to have him guiding us?
You can see what 2 restaurants do in this town. What I think we need to do is support our downtown businesses, be a little less critical. When we have new businesses downtown, that increases our tax revenue. It gives us more money for other things that we need. We need to fill the empty buildings and support our businesses that we have.
How?
Well, without negative talk, backbiting. I think just being positive about what's going on. I see now I can ride through. I came through town Tuesday night when this thing was going on up here. I came through town at 7:30. The town was full. 2 restaurants take care of that. 2 businesses. We can get a few more, and it just steamrolls.
All right.
Absolutely, I agree. A downtown being vibrant is one of the number one things. That's why I said like infrastructure and a vibrant downtown. Those are the two things. How do we do it? Look what's happened in the last 4 years. This building, Dr. Hooker's building. I mean, we can sit right here and look at them. The Tryon Federal Bank building is still, that's rolling along, and I do believe that that will come to some sort of situation after the first of the year, and that will take off. So how do we get more people to come to downtown? If we have back to small and lots of them festivals that will get people here to see that we've got a vibrant town and some vacancies where maybe they can start something up, and a lifestyle that's very enjoyable.
Not only the downtown itself with the empty buildings down there, but we also have approximately 7, as I counted Tuesday night, right? Empty buildings right here on Palmer Street, plus the empty buildings down on the south side of Main Street. We have 2 empty lots down there that I'm sure that the people that own them would love to have rented out and something built on it. And we need to, like they said, continue to raise and get more closer to our businesses. And a new business that comes in, like the mayor said, with not a lot that we can do that the state will allow us to do. But as a town, maybe we could give the new business for 6 months a break on their water and sewer bills. And I know I'm cutting myself in the foot by doing that, but if you can get a business to stay with you longer than just the 6 months, which is what average business is sometimes in the town, most of the time, then you'll come out in the long run with that.
Yeah, downtown, a healthy downtown is extremely vital. But I agree with Billy Moss. The town needs to be a little more proactive with new businesses coming to town. The entire town government needs to visit a new business, ask them what they can do to help, make sign ordinances easier to read. Just work with the new people. And as citizens of Tryon, go to your local hardware store, go to your local grocery stores. Look twice before you go to the big box stores. Stay at home. Thanks.
Wim?
Downtown is really why we have a town, so we all need to support it. We can't all support every shop or restaurant, but we can support whatever appeals to us. And I think we on the current council have been very open to listening to new ideas and to trying to cut down on the red tape and making it easier for people to operate in this town. I myself have been opposed to a business franchise fee, for instance, which has come up once or twice. I don't think the revenue that's raised from that would it would not be good for the businesses because it would be an additional burden for them. So I think there's a lot of things we can do by working together and by letting the citizens get involved. And I think if you just look around, like Doug said, you see a lot of positive things.
Like Mr. Wright said Tuesday night, we need to go out and start courting other businesses, bringing in businesses that we haven't been tried here. Maybe, like I have said down at Rosen Center, put in one of the empty lots down at the south side down there. You could put in a Tractor Supply. With the golf cart ordinance getting ready to be passed, we're going to have a golf cart sales and service outfit to come into town. There's this wonderful place down there. The old dollar store down there would be a good place to get one of them to come in. Be a wonderful place for them to work on, to showcase it. And then there's other, like I said, other empty buildings that we can go out and try to get people to come in. Like he said, the Mass General store would be good down here downtown in the old Federal building. And they just, you can always look at maybe a bad word, a franchise like Arby's come in and build, where we can have some kind of a business that stays open late enough where you can get a hamburger on.
How's that going to increase the revenue?
From the sales tax off of that. Get that sales tax up, revenue up, get sales taxes coming in up, and also to start bringing in more visitors come in that want to stay. As they said Tuesday night, they got a couple of bed and breakfasts looking at coming into us.
Increasing revenue, hopefully by the general increase in popularity of Tryon, if you will. We've managed to get through the recent economic downturn fairly well. The revenues maintained pretty evenly, and I think we will manage our expenses, but if we continue to see new businesses and if we promote ourselves for what we are, people like to come to Tryon. We just have to continue to build on that. We do get increased revenues through that. I would, again, not, I think you'd have to live within your means, so I would not favor tax increase to increase revenue.
I think it goes back to the businesses again, because that's where we're going to get our tax money. We're not going to grow in population. We don't have the room. We can't annex unless there's voluntary annexation. We're really left with only one thing. I'm like Wim, I would not be in favor of a tax increase. So I think we have to support and promote new businesses so that we can get new sales tax revenue and work within that. We don't have many other ways to do that.
Well, honestly, I think our town manager has done a good job with our budget, and decreasing our expenses would be, you know, I'm not going for this, but the only other thing is, do we cut our police department? Do we cut our road service? Do we cut our, street crews? Well, we're pretty lean right now. We have a balanced budget. We have money in the bank. We did have a small tax increase this year, and in the next couple of years, this group's going to be asked to come with that amount of money again, because the state's getting ready to take another about $2 million out of our budget. It's just a hard question, but we are in a good financial situation here in town.
We do have a very tight budget. We did have a tax increase, which I supported because we haven't had one in 12 years. And we're going to have $45,000 cut from next year's budget from the state. We either have to cut services or raise taxes. There's not a lot of places that we can cut services. I frankly don't see any places to cut services, which is why I voted for the tax increase. Comes next year, if I'm elected again, I'm going to look at another tax increase. On a $300,000 house, it amounts to $6 a month. I think this town can afford that, and I think we have to afford that.
I'm not in favor of cutting the fire department or the police department. I don't think offering inferior services is a way to save money. And I do think it's tight. The only suggestion that I would make is that the towns of Saluda and Columbus and Tryon come together, possibly the county too, to see what can we do, like if we all came together and did purchasing. If we are ordering a larger number of things, can we save money on what it takes to run the services? But it's a tough question.
I think one of the things the town has done that was very wise is Joey. We've combined several jobs, and one man is doing a very good job at taking care of all of it. That saved us a lot of money. There may be other areas we could look at the same in the same direction, but I think that's one thing that the town did that's really saved us some money and has been very positive.
He took what I was going to say. I'm going to say the second thing that I really congratulate Mayor Peoples on, and that is leading council and getting this museum and visitor center back on Trade Street. One of the places that I think Tryon has been lacking is we want to draw people in, either for a day or a week or to move in, but we've got to tell them who we are, what makes us special. Why do they want to move to Tryon? And that's what the museum and the visitor center, which will be housed in the town hall, will do.
I disagree with how long it took to solve Mrs. Whitmire's problem.
I disagree with the way the mayor and certain council people handled the terminations of Justin Hembry. One thing that I have preached, I guess, is consensus building, and that there was no consensus on that. So that's one thing I'm not happy with. I think it is important for us as a council, and I've certainly tried to work this way, to work together and to gain consensus so that, as Doug said, you basically don't want to get in a position where the mayor has the vote. We have 4 council members. If it's a 2-2 tie, the mayor has the vote. We should be able to communicate among ourselves and not get into that situation. So that's one that I would say.
I was disappointed in the way that the town council has been managing Lake Lanier. They should give the lake to the homeowners association and not spend any money over there because it doesn't bring us any revenue. And we have plenty of other water sources. We don't need the lake as a water source.
I have to agree with what Mr. Williams said about the last two, well, I'll say the last 2 town managers that they've gotten rid of, especially Caitlin. I thought she was a very good lady and she done a very good job at what little time she was here. And the other things is the getting rid of I didn't agree with getting rid of the whole last 12-hour shift of the police dispatch. I think that we should have at least till 12 o'clock dispatch, from 7 to 12 dispatch. It was brought up in the East Side meeting, last East Side meeting that I attended, that they was even concerned about it because whenever they do have a call in, it goes to the county. Then time they also get here, then it's too long a delay. If we could have our own dispatch back till at least 12 o'clock.
I think consolidation is a good thing if the citizens agree to it and if it can be worked out. One thing I think we learn when we become involved with a board such as this or politics, we don't have, or I myself don't have all the answers, but I am able to listen and hopefully sort out the ideas that come to us. And I think this certainly is one thing that probably will evolve in the coming years, whether we combine police departments with the sheriff department first or whatever happens, or the water department. But we have to, I believe we have to move away from our small base trying to support all these services, but it's going to take time and it has to involve the citizens, because it would not do us any good if we made the decision to combine and it turned out the citizens didn't want that. So it takes a lot of back and forth.
The reason that I am not in favor of combining are the police departments or the fire departments with other communities in Polk County is I think that's a health and safety issue, and I don't think it should be cut. I don't think it should be sacrificed.
I should say I agree with Bill, and you get to pick which one I agree with.
As I look up and down the street, there are 5, 6 places where you have to get single file whether there's anybody out front or not. Also, the coffee house is being singled out because there are other businesses where people hang out. Third thing
Tell us about some of those businesses.
No, I'm not, because I don't think we should attack other businesses. The third thing is, it went from being a logistics problem to a personal issue when somebody called them lazies and losers. Now that was, and I'll tell you the name if you want.
No.
All right. So that was brought up 10 days ago, or within the last 2 weeks. I want to let you know my first customer in the morning was the commander of the USS Constitution. I have college deans. I have retired New York firemen. I have, and actually today, I had a lady tell me how much she enjoys seeing the people on the street. A year ago, we were at this same spot talking about this town being a ghost town. Not in front of my coffee house, it wasn't. And I've been there 15 years. On my block alone, I have seen approximately 50 businesses come and go on my block alone. The only familiar face today that was here 15 years ago is Jim Cowan's family. So when anybody has a better idea about, and the other thing I would like to mention is, we close at noon. My crowd is gone by 10:30. The businesses don't open till 10, most of them. So you're talking about 30 minutes. And for every complaint I've had, I can guarantee you I've had 10 people tell me that they like seeing the crowd. So my position on my crowd in front of my coffee house is, if you don't like it, please vote for one of these other esteemed people because they are great.
The attendance record is wrong. I've missed one council meeting when I was out of
4 years,
town.
you say?
In the 4 years. and if I'm remiss, it might at the most it's 2. Now, if you're talking about meetings like the East Side Committee, I am no longer on that committee and haven't been for 2 years, so I have not been to the East Side Committee meetings. And if that gets included in that, that's probably throwing the percentage off, but that shouldn't be considered.
I don't look at it having the name Happy as a weakness. I think that's a compliment. It shows that I'm positive, that I work with people. My son tells me I'm the stubbornest person in the world, that when I believe in something, there's just no way that you can get me to change my mind, and I believe in Tryon.
I would disagree with you on the attendance. I've missed, I believe, the February, and again, I guess I'm kind of like with Doug. The council meetings are the most important to me, and I make every effort, obviously, to attend. I was in Florida for the February meeting. I think I've made every other one. I've attended numerous budget sessions, special sessions, closed-door sessions, and committee meetings. Now, you can't make every one, I don't think, although there are some members of the council that have a better record. I will say that. But I don't know where your numbers come from, nor do I really care. I'll stand by my record. I'm involved. I'm concerned. I've spoken about the issues that people have brought to me or that I feel are important. And I don't remember you being at too many meetings yourself to find out what my disinterest is. And I wonder maybe if Jeff Bird wrote that question, but I don't think that you have a problem with me representing the citizens of the town. Obviously, if they do, the election's coming up, but I'll kind of leave it at that.
Yeah, I get hot-headed at times because I'm so passionate about things. And, you know, when I was on the barbecue committee for 17 years, I was operations chairman. You catch me Sunday at 2 o'clock and 60% of the people that were supposed to be there cleaning up weren't there, I was mad. And, yeah, it showed. You know, I'm pretty good at, in public, keeping my cool. But I do, you know, boil up at times, and you will know exactly where I stand on an issue.
Yes, and once again, as you said, the town manager is their direct boss. So it would, like you said, I have lots of friends with the town, and as a general oversight, they do a pretty decent job. And like I said, with the town manager, it's his job to do the discipline, our job to guide him in the direction that he needs to go. But as far as myself, if someone does something needing to be terminated out, I'd have no problem voting for their termination. Well, thank you for all coming out. I want to thank the TDA, Mr. Millard, and the Bulletin for putting this on. Thank my wife, my friends, and Pastor and his wife that's here tonight. And I want to make a thing clear. I had some rough-looking faces look back at me when I mentioned the Arby's. That's just a suggestion. But I still stand behind my thing, my suggestion about we do need some restaurants that'll stay open longer, more family-friendly type restaurants where the people that's passing through can stop and have a burger or chicken dinners or whatever. And I look forward to serve you with, like I said, with 29 years, and look forward to trying to serve and continue on helping with the town. A third generation that's retired from working with the town. And just thanks everyone once again, and I would appreciate your votes.
Thank you all for being here. I'm glad to be here. I hope to be your commissioner. I'd like to thank about the third of the crowd that sits out in front of my coffee house every day. Thank you very much. You've kept me in business for 15 years. I'd like to see other businesses stay in business for 15 years. Thank you very much.
I'm committed to Tryon. I've been here 31 years. I got transferred here. The mill sold. They wanted me to go to Arkansas, and I said I'm not leaving Fantasia. And here I am. I volunteer for this community. I've been with the barbecue. I am chairman of the Travel and Tourism Board here in town. I'm vice president of TDA. I think I'm the trash person for the beer fest, and but yeah, I'm committed to Tryon. I love this town. I want to see it stay safe, clean, and healthy, and I appreciate your support. Thank you.
Very good.
I want to thank you too, Andy, and Betty at the Bulletin, and the TDDA, and all you citizens that have come out to engage in some local politics. I think it's important if you're concerned that you stand up and you make yourself known, and that's what I did. I stand on my record. I'm proud of it. I'm proud of representing this town, and I look forward to another 4 years. Thank you.
The town's mission statement is to make Tryon an appealing, livable, harmonious community. The mission is to enhance the quality of life through sound leadership, fiscal responsibility, efficient delivery of high-quality services, advocacy for community participation and involvement, and preservation of our history and protection of our natural resources. And if you will put me on council, what I would like to see council do is to move into some long and short-term goals and objectives to carry out the mission. This is who we've said we are. Let's get to work and make it happen. And I would appreciate your vote. Thank you.
The most important thing you can do on election day is get out and vote. Then you need to attend the meetings and take part in what's going on. And you all wouldn't have to ask these questions because you'd know what was going on. And if you have the opportunity at those meetings to make comments and to get involved. So do that. You've got 6 people up here willing to give their time. You've got 6 good choices. I can't say anything negative about any of them, and I wouldn't if I did know anything. Get out and vote. And then attend the meetings and support who you vote for.